What's up? 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 Man, I'm super tired, guys. Happy Friday. I mean, it's Friday while I'm recording this, but happy new day. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you might be listening. Man, I'm super tired. I am like crazy tired. But I hope you guys are really, really well. Let me actually check my audio levels because, I think everything is looking fantastic. Hope we're doing good. Hope everybody's doing good. Today I'm back with a short, quick episode. Yes, I'll attempt to keep it short, and I really have to, personally, because I have to like run and travel to London. But this week has been, first of all, this week's been crazy, but it's been really amazing. I think this week for me has been a week where I've been able to really affirm myself in terms of actually, like, I think I left this week with a lot more self-belief in my talent, in my skill, in my capacity, and it's been incredible. It's been really, really good. But I guess why you're all here is to kind of hear something or whatever. I don't even know why you guys are here, but thank you for rocking with me, of course. But this week, I had the privilege of actually speaking to spending some time with my mentor and Manny, and we sat there one morning, and I had been so busy, but this was like the only few hours that we had shared together. And I sat there, and it was really, really beautiful because we were sitting talking about God, and Manny was asking lots of questions, and Mike was answering, and I just got to be a passive kind of like participant in this conversation, and it was really it was a blessing. And Mike was talking about picking your tensions, right? And man, it related to me so much. And this whole idea of picking your tensions is this idea of like there is so much in this world to be upset about. There's so much in the world to be dissatisfied by, angered by. There's lots to care about, essentially, right? There's loads of things to care about, and you could spend your whole life trying to fight everything that you don't like, or you just choose not to. You know what I'm saying? So it was really great to hear that conversation. And I remember taking this photo of those two talking, and I was writing an Instagram caption the next day. Manny had posted a photo, Mike had posted a photo, and Mike hadn't posted a photo yet. I was actually writing. At that time, it would have been, if I posted that photo, it would have been me first, then Mike. But I wrote this really long caption sharing this story of some of my first steps, and God just didn't let me post it. It deleted, and I was like, cool, just let it go. Maybe it was just for me to kind of take a walk down memory lane, and that's what I'm here to share with you guys. And I want to share with you guys this story, this post that never really made it, but a beautiful story nonetheless. One of a young me, pre-boldness, pre-intentionality, pre what some would consider a lot cleaner in terms of like focus or whatever. But 2016 I went to university, and I met a cool guy called Manny, and instantaneously he became my best friend. And I saw this guy, and I thought, man, like, I instantaneously fell in love with who he was. I thought he was cool. I loved the way he made people smile. I loved the way he captivated a room. I loved his presence. I loved just how cool he was. And I was like, man, I want to be like this guy. And he had these two sparkling earrings, and I remember being so, like, I admired him so much that, like, believe it or not, like, the few days after, if not the next day, I'd gone to pierce my ears. Like, it was that impactful. I shared this story because when we were having a conversation, I know like Manny will be okay with me to share a little bit of this, but Manny has been in a place where he's just figuring himself out, just as we all are. And it's been so beautiful to watch him finally gain his stride again, and I have the privilege to kind of have been by his side through a lot of stuff. And it's been very tough, our friendship. It's been a lot of hard love, a lot of, oh, I got it wrong again, or I may have let you down. And I remember he wrote me a message telling me about, that there are things he dreams that he could do that I do. And when I was writing this, I was thinking, this guy is so silly. That, brother, don't worry about what I do. You don't realize that all the things I do are because of you. And the story, when I was kind of like in this conversation and I was kind of like there, the story that really came to my heart was one day in church in Leicester, 2017. I was sat down in church, and this was a really pivotal moment for me. And I've obviously previously shared in a different episode about kind of like a moment that changed the trajectory of my life, and this was also one. But I remember this time I was sat in church, and I remember feeling very estranged. I was under stress, and I was dealing with lots of anxieties and fears, and like I was getting kicked out of university. I was like dealing with so much, and I was like crying out to God from the deepest parts of my heart. I had confusion. I was keeping a cool facade. I was known by a lot of people. I was hyper visible, so I always had to look together. But actually, deep down, like things weren't working out the way they could have. So for me, it was a very strenuous period. And I remember sitting in church, like, God, like I wanna feel connected to you. Like I want to get it right. Like, do you even see me? Like, do you, like, I don't know what to, like, help me. Like, I need something new in you. Like, I need to feel your freshness. And up until that point, I've always been a Christian. I had always been a Christian my whole life, and I'd always believed in Christ. And I was born a Christian, and I remember being baptized, and I remember like choosing to be baptized when I was younger. But like I was realizing that actually my whole adult life, where I would consider that I'm a little bit more conscious over my actions, right? I was like, I haven't actually chosen to rededicate myself to Christ, even though I was a Christian already. So that dropped into my heart in that moment. And as I was there, we had our heads bowed down, and Pastor Mercy, shout out to Pastor Mercy, she was my pastor in university. She did an altar call, and she was saying, listen, this is the best step you're ever going to make in your life. And you know, one of those moments that just feel like someone's speaking exactly to you. Like there's tens of people, or there's a room full of people, but it's like everything she's saying was just speaking to my soul. And I was like, man, this is me. Like, and I remember she kept saying, there's one more person. There's one more person. And a lot of people have already gone forward, and it was like, there was nobody moving anymore. And she was like, there's one more person. There's one more person. There's one more person. Or even there's a few more people. Right. And she's like, yeah, there's a few more people. Come on, there's one more person. There's one more person. Before we can go, there's one more person that needs to stand up. And I was hearing this, like, man, knowing it was me. And I remember I was scared. I was like, man, like, I don't know if I'm good enough. I don't know. I was just scared. And I remember contemplating and battling a million voices in my head telling me to sit down. Because once again, I was hyper visible. I was in this place where everybody knew me. And obviously, the familiarity of people meant that, like, people would always make jokes like, oh, Mr. 200. Like, all that stuff always made me feel uncomfortable to be in public spaces. So I was a bit like, I didn't want to be seen if I didn't have to. So I was like, oh, I can't walk in front of all these people. Like, oh, I just don't want to see. I don't want nobody to see me when we open our eyes. I was questioning so much. And I remember, like, I was like, God, like I want to go up there, but I'm scared. And I remember Manny, we had our heads bowed down. I remember to the left of me, Manny took a step forward, and I wasn't sure if it was him or not, but he was sat next to me, or a few kind of seats next to me. And I remember instantaneously, the same way that I felt this presence, this inspiration flow when I first met him. Like, his first step was everything that made me bold enough to take my first step. And I'm recording this because, like, you know, often I don't think people realize how impactful they could have been in your life, because maybe they just did one thing. But what if that one thing was the ultimate thing that was so important to you, that was so life changing? And I wanted to record this because man, like, Manny, I hope you're listening, and if you hear this, I hope you understand how much of an impact you had in my life, because many of your first steps were my second step, you know. a lot of my boldness I found after I saw you do the very thing that I knew I could do but wasn't brave enough to do. And from that moment, my life had changed. I decided to rededicate my life in Christ, and I've stuck by it. But then also, it inspired me to always to find somebody in the world and be their first step. You know, in life we need examples. In life we need people who are bold enough. And I don't imagine that maybe Manny had more courage than me, but also in that carefree nature that he had in every other place, he kept it simple and just stepped forward, and he rededicated himself to Christ. And seeing that, I was like, man, that's amazing. And it inspired me to want to be the best example I could ever be. And from that point, everything I started doing began to be an intentional first step. Not always for me, but just in case there might be someone who literally is sat in the shadows building their whole life based on who I am. And I think I share this because I think it's imperative that we all understand our roles of leadership. That even when you think no one is watching, the world is watching. Even when you think no one is there, somebody is literally paying attention to every detail that you do, the way you walk, the way you laugh, the way you smile, the way you flick your hair, the way you do whatever. And they're so inspired that they're breaking apart their own habits to form new ones just like you. That for me is the value of what is true mentorship, true examples. And going back to that story of when I was sitting down with Manny and my mentor Mike, is that, man, I felt overwhelmed because I sat in the room with two people who have literally helped guide and change the trajectory of my life. And man, I'm like, man. And one thing we said that was really important, we were discussing was the necessity for good leadership. And Mike said something so beautiful. He said, you need to have somebody beneath you, that you just serve and just love and just give. And then also you need somebody above you that's close enough to just show you that everything is possible. So that in your mind you thought maybe that thing was impossible, but actually there's somebody above you that is doing what seems impossible and gives you the confidence to take that first step into impossible. And I want to thank Manny, and I want to thank Mike, in the true transparency of how I want to keep these episodes. I'm not here to try to give you any magic pill, but I will leave by saying, listen, in your life right now, take your role in your life seriously. In as much as you may feel inadequate, you may feel useless, believe me when I tell you that somebody's watching you and building their whole life around the things you do. Create a pattern, stand for something, and create a pattern of living. Unless somebody will make one for you and sell it to you. So create a pattern of life, create something unique to you, and be great and lean into the good that you know your heart wants to. Stand out because somebody is standing up because you chose to stand out. And I just want to encourage somebody this week that if out of anything, choose this week just not to doubt yourself and stand up, because you will be surprised of who follow, and you'll be surprised of what impact of that simple thing that was so simple to you. Somebody's whole life would have been built up for that moment, and it took you to be the tipping point. So I just want to say, please go out there and be great. Do not let anything hold you back. And also for the people who are going to be taking their second steps, they're going to be taking their first steps, be bold to stand up. And I've now come to the point where I don't need I don't cower into my fear, but that was me one time. So now, in understanding where I was, it's everything and every reason as to why I gotta be who I am. So I want to encourage you guys. That's my message for today. That's what's on my heart. And I'm super tired, and maybe the energy is a bit low for me, but I have literally had the most interesting day. Lots of things going wrong. But I'm thankful for life once again, and I'm thankful that, even when there's a loss, man, I'm in the greatest story ever told, and I think that's so beautiful. So yeah, I love you guys so much. I hope I've kept it short. It's been your boy, Josiah Hyacinth, and you've just listened to 5 more minutes of Josiah Hyacinth. Have an amazing week and make it yours. If you're listening in the middle of your week, make it yours. Finish strong. If this is the beginning of the week, make it yours. Start strong. And man, if you're in a place, like, just remember that, listen, like, time and everything in creation is working together for you. And most importantly, God is working together, all things together for the good for you. So I hope you can be inspired this week. And even if you're not, it's okay to be where you are. Because man, there might just be something to your left and your right. Be bold and look left and right. Be bold and stand up and make a decision that will literally change your life. Be bold in everything. Just do it, man. Just do it. So yeah, I'm gonna catch you guys next week. Next week I'm gonna be answering some of your questions. So please do send any questions you guys have in. Drop them in the comments. Email me anything from any of the episodes you guys have listened to so far. I'd love to answer your questions. So do send them in, and we're gonna talk and chop it up next week. So yeah, appreciate you guys. God bless. Big love.